This is Dr. Thyssen. I wanted to do a dosage review using the Thyssen method. I'm also going to be using the online interactive resources for the nurse, the math, the meds, 5th edition, which I just happen to be a reviewer for. Okay, let me see. Get to it. All right. Okay, we're going to do the study mode. And we're going to start off very simple with oral dosages. And let's do 5 questions. All right, so we're going to be using dimensional analysis, again, using the Thyssen method. All right, so our first problem, we got 250 milligrams by mile 4 times per day as ordered for a patient with glaucoma. What we have available is 500 milligram tablets. How many tablets would the nurse administer with each dose? So remember, anytime we are doing dimensional analysis, just putting a spin on it using the Thyssen method, we want to ask ourselves 3 questions. The first one is, what am I looking for? The second one is, what do I know? The third question is, what do I need? So again, I tell everybody, all you need is those 3 questions, just those 3 questions, and you can answer any dosage calculation problem, okay? So first question I said is, what am I looking for? So according to this question, I'm looking for how many tablets. So what am I looking for? Tabs, all right? So because I'm looking for tabs, I move on to my second question, which is, what do I know? So what do I know about tabs? According to the information I have here and what's available, I know that I have 1 tablet is 500 milligrams, okay? Milligrams is at the bottom, so I know it has to go at the top. When I look up here, I see that my order is in milligrams. So that brings me to my last question, what do I need? So how many milligrams do I need? 250, I'm gonna throw that over 1. Now all I do is multiply straight across. All right, 1 times 250 is 250. 500 times 1 is 500, okay? So when I look at this, milligrams cancels out, right? Because we can, they're across from each other, so they cancel out, and I'm left with tabs. If what I'm left with equals what I'm looking for, then I set it up correctly, okay? So now I can do my math. Let me get my calculator up here. Come on, calculator. While that is trying to load, I can use the calculator on my phone, and I have 250 divided by 500, and I end up with 0.5, which is half a tab. We're going to click submit. Yay, we did it right. All right, let's go to our next question. Let's see. Let's do this one. Oh, okay. All right, this one we got to look at it later. But again, same 3 questions. What am I looking for? What do I know? What do I need? All right. So we have a patient with an artificial heart valve has warfarin 7.5 milligrams ordered. How many tablets would the nurse administer every day? So what am I looking for? According to this, it says how many tablets. So I'm looking for tabs. Because I'm looking for tabs, that's what I start off with. Next question, what do I know? So what do I know about tabs? So I got to click on my label to look and see. All right. So according to my label, 1 tab is 2.5 milligrams. All right. So 1 tab is 2.5 milligrams. Milligrams is at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. My order is in milligrams. So third question, what do I need? How many milligrams do I need? 7.5. Throw that over 1. So milligrams cancels out. I'll be left with tabs. If what I'm left with equals what I'm looking for, then I set it up correctly. So now I just multiply straight across. 1 times 7.5 is 7.5. 2.5 times 1 is 2.5. All right. So now I get my handy dandy calculator and I do 7.5 5 divided by 2.5, and that equals 3 tabs. Hit submit to see if we did that right. Yay! All right, go to the next question. I really want to go to one that has, let me go back home. So now I really want to show y'all the same thing if we had a conversion. So I'm just going to keep it there. And I'm going to keep scrolling till I see where I need a conversion. That's my holding music. Okay, here we go. All right. A patient with hypothyroidism has levothyroxine 0.1 milligrams ordered daily before breakfast. How many tablets would be administered with each dose? What am I looking for? I'm looking for tablets. Okay. Because I'm looking for tablets, that's what I start off with. So what do I know about tablets? Let's click our label to see. All right. So according to my label, I have 50 micrograms in one tablet. Okay. So I know I have one tablet is 50 micrograms. Okay. Micrograms is at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top, right? So when I look at my order is in milligrams. So that means I'm not finished with my what do you know question yet, or what do I know question yet, because I got to get to milligrams. All right. That means I need a conversion. All right. Because micrograms is up there. What do I know about micrograms and milligrams? Well, I know there's 1,000 micrograms in 1 milligram. Okay. Milligrams at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. My order is in milligrams. So now I can go to my last question. What do I need? So how many milligrams do I need? 0.1. All right. Now let's look at this. Milligrams would cancel out. Micrograms would cancel out. I'm left with tabs. If what I'm left with equals what I'm looking for, then I set it up correctly. So now I just multiply straight across. So that's 1,000 times 0.1, and that is 100. And then we have 50 times 1 times 1 is 50. So go to back to my handy dandy calculator. 100 divided by 50. Come on, 50. And that is 2. So 2 tabs. Let's hit submit and see if that's correct. Woo woo. Okay. Let's do one more with a conversion. Oops. Come on, conversion. All right, here we go. All right, a physician orders 40 milligrams of a medication to be given by mouth now. Each tablet contains 0.02 grams of a medication. How many tablets would the nurse administer with each dose? What am I looking for? I'm looking for tabs. Because I'm looking for tabs, that's what I start off with. All right, what do I know about tabs? According to the information here and what's available, I know one tab is 0.02 grams. Grams is at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top, but my order is in milligrams, which means I need a conversion. So now, because grams is what I'm still working with, what do I know about grams and milligrams? Well, I know 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams, and this is where you need to just memorize those conversions. All right, milligrams at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. My order is in milligrams, so how many milligrams do I need? 40. Throw that over 1. Milligrams cancels out. Grams cancels out. I'm left with tabs. If what I'm left with equals what I'm looking for, then I set it up correctly. So now I just multiply straight across. 1 times 1 times 40 is 40. All right. Then we got 0.02 times 1,000, 0.02 times 1,000, and that's 20. Then we do 40 divided by 20. And that should be 2 tabs. Woo! All right. Let me find one with meals. It's still the same. Oh, here we go. Right here. All right. So we got diphenhydramine, 25 milligrams by mouth. Okay. How many mils would be administered with each dose? What am I looking for? Milliliters, right? Because I'm looking for milliliters. That's what I start off with. So what do I know about mils? According to my label, I have 12.5 milligrams in 5 mils. All right. So 5 mils, 5 mils in 12.5 milligrams. Milligrams is at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. My order is in milligrams. So how many milligrams do I need? 25. Throw that over 1. Now I just multiply straight across. 25 times 5. Oops. Let me fix that. 25 times 5. And that's 125. And then 12.5 times 1 is 12.5. So now I just divide 125. 125 divided by 12.5, and that's 10 mils. Woohoo! All right. So let me go back home and let me go to something different. We're going to go to parenteral dosages. Again, same type of problem, same steps. Okay. Parenteral just means it's something where I'm using a needle. Okay. So it could be for like a sub-Q injection. It can be for IM injection, intradermal. Okay. All right. So this is very similar. Physician orders diphenhydramine 50 milligrams IM every 4 hours. The nurse chooses a vial of diphenhydramine 25 milligrams per meal. How many meals will the nurse administer? So what am I looking for? Meals. What do I know about meals? It says 1 meal is 25 milligrams. Milligrams at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. My order is in milligrams. So how many milligrams do I need? 50. Throw that over 1. Multiply straight across. 1 times 50 is 50. 25 times 1 is 25. Right? I can go to my handy dandy calculator. 50. 50 divided by 50 divided by 50. Okay. 50 divided by 25. Oops. I get it together. And that's 2. So the answer should be 2 meals. Okay. So again, parenteral dosages are it's the same setup as oral dosages. Okay. All right. So let's go home. Let's look at IV flow rates. Okay. We're going to start off with something simple. All right, a nurse practitioner orders 1,000 mils of 0.9% normal saline, which is just plain old normal saline, to infuse over 6 hours. How many mils per hour will the nurse program the pump? So what am I looking for? Mils per hour. All right. So I'm looking for mils first. What do I know? I have 1,000 mils in 6 hours. Can I stop here? Yes, because what I'm left with is what I'm looking for. So I just do my math. 1,000 divided by 6. And I have 166.6. For here, we're just going to round to the nearest 10th. And it really depends on the institution or the pump that you have to what you can actually set it to. So here, I'm just going to round to the nearest 10th. So 166.7 mils per hour. Okay. Let's see. Let's do another one. We got 1,000 mils of lactated ringers over 10 hours. How many mils per hour? So I know that I have 1,000 mils in 10 hours. So I do my handy dandy calculator. 1,000 divided by 10, and that is 100 mils per hour. All right, let's go through. And so you know how to do those. Let's see. These are all pretty much the same. Oh, drops per minute. Okay. A patient has 1,000 mils of 0.9% normal saline ordered to infuse over 10 hours. The IV tubing has a 60 drop per milliliter factor. How many drops per minute will the nurse infuse the IV fluids? All right. Anytime I'm looking for drops per minute, I would round the final answer to the nearest whole number. Okay. So what am I looking for? Drops per minute. How do I know that? Because it says here, how many drops per minute? All right. So what do I know about drops? Well, according to the information that it has, there's 60 drops per meal. So 60 drops in 1 meal. Meals at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. According to the information I have, there's 1,000 meals and in 10 hours. All right. Can I stop here? No, because I need to get to minutes. All right. So that means I got to use a conversion. So I know there's 1 hour in 60 minutes. Okay. So now I just multiply straight across. So 60 times 1,000 times 1, 60 times 1,000 times, oops, this one is 60,000. And then 1 times 10 times 60 should be 600. And then 60,000 divided by 600. And that should be 100 drops per minute. I hope I did my math right. Yes, 100 drops per minute. All right. Let's look at another one. Physician orders 1,000 mils of 0.9% normal saline. All right. The reason why we don't use 0.9% in our math problem is because that's the name or the title of the infusion or the solution. All right. So we got 1,000 mils of 0.9% normal saline to infuse over 8 hours. The IV tubing has a 20 drop per mil factor. How many drops per minute will the nurse infuse? So what am I looking for? Drops per minute. What do I know about drops? I have, according to the information I have, 20 drops in 1 meal. Meals at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. I got 1,000 meals in 8 hours. Can I stop here? No, because I need to get to minutes. So I know there's 1 hour in 60 minutes. So I multiply straight across. 20 times 1,000 times 1. Well, let me show you this. Hours cancels out, right? Meals cancels out. That would leave me with drops per minute. If what I'm left with equals what I'm looking for, then I set it up correctly. So when I multiply straight across, 20 times 1,000 times 1 is 20,000. And then 8, well, 1 times 8 times 60. 8 times 60 is 480. And then 20,000 divided by 480. That's 41 points, blah, 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 blah. We're going to round to the nearest whole number. So that should be 42 drops per minute. Okay. All right. So let's see. If there's any other ones in here that we should go over. Those are all kind of the same. Oh, yes, look at this one. All right. We have a total of 1,800 mils of TPN ordered to infuse from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. How many mils per hour will the nurse program the IV infusion device? So the first thing I need to do is find out how long is it from 6 p.m. 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. So that is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 10 hours. So basically, I know that I have 1,800 mils in 10 hours. So we do 1,800 divided by 10. That's 180 mils per hour. 80 mils per hour. Okay. All right. I think that is. We can look at this one. We got a total of 60 milliequivalents of potassium and 200 mils is ordered to infuse at a rate of 10 milliequivalents per potassium, 10 milliequivalents of potassium per hour. How many mils per hour would the nurse program the infusion device? Okay, so again, what am I looking for? Mils per hour. All right, what do I know about mils? According to the information I have, I know I got 200 mils in 60 milliequivalents. All right. Milliequivalents is at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. All right. So I got 10 milliequivalents in 1 hour. Okay. Can I stop here? Yes. So milliequivalents cancels out. I'm left with mils per hour. If what I'm left with equals what I'm looking for, then I set it up correctly. So all I do now is multiply straight across. So 200 times 10 is 2,000. And then 60 times 1 is 60. So then I do 2,000 divided by 60. That'll give me 33.30, blah, blah, blah. Did it tell me to round? It didn't tell me what to round. So I'm just going to do 33.3 mils per hour. 0.3 mils per hour. Okay. All right. All right. So let's go to, let's see. Dosage is measured in units. Again, same basic steps. Let's see. This is basically marking the syringe. Pretty sure y'all know how to do that. Let's go get to some math problem. I'll be just syringes. So let's look at critical care dosages. All right. So we got a continuous infusion of diltiazem at 15 milligrams per hour. Oh, what happened? Okay. So the pharmacy delivers diltiazem with a 100 milligram per 100 ml concentration. How many mils per hour will the nurse administer the medication? All right, so again, I'm looking for mils per hour because I'm looking for mils per hour. I'm looking for mils first. What do I know about mils? I know that I have, let's see, what do I have? Mils. I got 100 mils and 100 milligrams. Okay, milligrams at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. I got 15 milligrams in 1 hour. And I can stop there because I'm at hours. Milligrams cancels out. I'm left with mils per hour. If what I'm left with equals what I'm looking for, then I set it up correctly. So I do my math straight across. 100 times 15, 100 times 15 is 1,500. And then 100 times 1 is 100. And we do 1,500 divided by 100. And I have 15 mils per hour. Okay. Let me scroll through to some different types of problems. Let's see. Oh, this one. All right. The patient is experiencing VTAC. Patient has lidocaine infusion at 30 mils per hour. When using a concentration of lidocaine, 1 gram and 500 mils, how many milligrams per minute is the patient receiving? So what am I looking for? milligrams per minute, all right? Because I'm looking for milligrams first, that's what I start off with. So what do I know about milligrams? All right, if I look up here, do I see anything about milligrams? No. That means I gotta start off with a conversion, okay? Because the only thing I have up here is grams. So now, back to my second question, what do I know about milligrams and grams? I know there's 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram. All right, grams at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. I got 1 gram and 500 mils. Mils is at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. I look up here, I see that I have 30 mils in 1 hour. Can I stop here? No, because I got to get to minutes. So another conversion, 1 hour in 60 minutes, okay? So if I look here to make sure that I set it up correctly, I know that hours cancels out, mils cancels out, grams cancels out. Well, that will leave me with milligrams per minute. If what I'm left with equals what I'm looking for, then I set it up correctly. So I do my math. 1,000 times 1 times 30 times 1 should be 30,000. And then 1 times 500 times 1 times 60. And do 500 times 60, and that's 30,000. Okay. So 30,000 divided by 30,000, that should be 1 milligram per minute, if I did my math right. Yep. Yep. Okay, so let's look at this one. A patient with shock has an order for 0.1 milligram per minute. We have a concentration of 10 milligrams and 500 mils. Calculate the mils per hour. So what am I looking for? Mils per hour. So I'm looking for mils first. What do I know about mils? According to the information I have, 500 mils in 10 milligrams. Milligrams is at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. I have 0.1 milligram in 1 minute. Minutes at the bottom. I know it has to go to the top because I want to get to hours. So that means I need a conversion. So 60 minutes is in 1 hour. All right. So minutes will cancel out, milligrams will cancel out. I'll be left with mils per hour. What I'm left with equals what I'm looking for. Then I set it up correctly. So I can do my math. 500 times 0.1 times 60. 500 times 0.1 times 60 equals 3,000. And then 10 times 1 is 10. Then we do 3,000 divided by 10. That would give me 300 mils per hour. Right? We can even do this when we need to use a conversion. Okay. So we got a patient who has BTAC. They're going to be getting lidocaine at 2 milligrams per minute. And the concentration is 1 gram and 500 mils. I want to know how many mils per hour the nurse is infusing the medication. So what am I looking for? Mils per hour. So because I'm looking for mils first, that's what I start off with. All right. What do I know about mils? According to the information I have, I got 500 mils and 1 gram. Grams at the bottom. So I know it has to go at the top. I don't have anything else with gram. I got a milligram. So that means I need to use a conversion. All right. So I know that gram is 1,000 milligrams. Milligrams at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. What do I need? I need 2 milligrams per minute. 2 milligrams 1 minute. If I look over here, I need to get to hours. So that means I need another conversion. 60 minutes is in 1 hour. All right. So now I just multiply straight across because again, minutes will cancel out, milligrams will cancel out, grams will cancel out. I will be left with mils per hour. What I'm left with equals what I'm looking for, then I set it up correctly. So I can do my math, 500 times 1 times 2 times 60, 500 times 1 times 2 times 60 is 60,000. And then 1,000 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1,000. I would do 60,000 divided by 1,000. And that is 60 meals per hour, if I did my math right. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got on here. Pediatric dosages. A lot of times that involves safe dose range. Okay. As soon as it pops up. All right. So a lot of times the safe dose range is usually some type of milligrams or grams times kilograms. Okay. Sometimes all we have is the patient's weight in pounds. So we got to know how to convert from pounds to kilograms. All right. So what am I looking for? A kilogram. I know 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Pounds is at the bottom. I know it has to go at the top. I need 46 pounds. Oops. 46 pounds. So multiply straight across. 1 times 46 is 46. 2.2 times 1 is 2.2. So I do my math. 46 divided by 2.2. And that is 20.9. I'll do 20.9 pounds. 20.9. Okay. Okay, so we know how to do that. Let's get to some dosage problems. We want to get to the ones we're looking at like safe dose. Oh, here we go. All right. The children's recommended daily oral dose for amoxicillin is 25 to 50 milligrams per kilograms in 24 hours, or 24 hours is a day. Okay. And it's divided in every 12-hour dosages. Calculate the recommended minimum number of milligrams. So whenever we're doing these problems, make sure that we're looking at what the question is asking us, okay? So this question is, I want to know the minimum, the recommended minimum number of milligrams in a 24-hour period or milligrams per day for a child who weighs 60 pounds, okay? So what am I looking for? Milligrams per day, right? Milligrams per day. So what do I know? If I'm looking at the minimum, this is the minimum. So it says 25 to 50, 25 is the minimum. So that's 25 milligrams per kilograms per day. Okay. So 25 milligrams per kilograms per day. All right. Because I know I'm going to have to get rid of kilograms, that's what I need next. But my child is in pounds. So it's a conversion. So 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds times the 60 pounds that I need. I can multiply straight across. 25 times 60. 20, here. 25 times 60. 25 times 60. And that's 1,500. And then divide that by 2.2. So 1,500 divided by 2.2. And that's 681.8. 681.8. I think that's what that was. Yes. Okay. So that would be the minimum number of milligrams per day for that child. All right. So this next one, it says, again, the recommended dose is 25 to 50 milligrams per kilograms per day. Calculate the maximum number. So this time I'm looking at the biggest number, which is the 50. All right. So I set it up the same way, looking for milligrams per day. According to the information I have, I know that it's 50 milligrams per kilograms per day. Throw my conversion in there. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds times the 60 pounds that I need. So I just multiply straight across. 50 times 60, 50 times 60, and that is 3,000. Divided by that 2.2. So 3,000 divided by 2.2. And that is, if I did my math right, 1363.6. So 1363.6. I think that's what that was. Oops. 0.5. What did I do wrong? So that was 60 times 3,000. It's like I did my math right. So it must be a little error on here. All right. So let's see. So this is basically, I'll do one more. Okay. We got morphine sulfate. Recommended dose is 0.1 to 0.2 milligrams per kilograms per day. And again, I'm looking for the minimum number of milligrams per day for a child weighing 35 pounds. Round the final answer to the nearest hundredths place. I got to remember that, hundredths place. All right, so I'm looking for milligrams per day. It said the minimum, so that is 0.1 milligrams per kilograms per day. Got to throw my conversion in there. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds times the 35 pounds that I need. Oops. All right, so that is 0.1 times 35, 0.1 times 35, that's 3.5 divided by that 2.2, that's 3.5, 3.5 divided by 2.2, and that is 1.59, 1.59 milligrams per day. The minimum dose. You know what? Let's see if we can do the maximum next. Okay. All right, so this is the same question, but it's asking about the maximum. So the maximum, I know I'm looking at 0.2 milligrams per kilograms per day. Throw my conversion in there. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds times the 35 pounds that I need. So 0.2 times 35, 0.2 times 35 is 7 divided by that 2.2. So 7 divided by 2.2, that's 3.18. 3.18. And I'm rounding to that to 2 places because it says round to the nearest hundredths place. Okay. All right. So that was just like a quick overview review of dosage calculations. And I hope it's helpful.